Hey guys, Doug Smaldino. What's up today? Hey, for those of you that missed the last Realtor Roundtable, I wanted to put together this little quick presentation for you just to give you little ideas. And everyone says we're in a transitioning market and everyone's getting nervous and the sky's falling, and so wanted to give you like a market proof way to hopefully get some more listing business. And this has worked, by the way, a lot this year. I've probably gotten, I don't know, 4 or 5 listings for some of you guys this year, and it's been great. So we'll get into it. Let's take a look at it, and I'll chime in when we get to the slide. So real quick here, basically, the a good place to be right now is to connect with estate and trust attorneys so that you can get listings when basically people die. And it's no secret the population is getting a little bit older, and in the over here on the east side of LA and other parts, there's a lot of older people. Some of these houses were built years ago, and there's a good crop of listing business that's going to be out there. Generally, the heirs just want to sell the property and get the money. So they don't want to keep the property. So let's get into it, and let's talk a couple tax tips and get you guys some listings. So first of all, let me switch slides here. Love the little animation there in PowerPoint. Janet did that for me. This is a little bit thinking out of the box. This isn't your traditional, I'm not going to tell you about door knocking or open house strategies or postcards, mailers. You guys know that infinitely better than me. But so what we're going to talk about, though, is, it's a great business to business strategy and how to, incorporate this. This shouldn't be 100% of your business, but definitely something to incorporate. Not a lot of agents are doing it. It's whenever no one's doing something, it's probably a good thing. Everyone goes this way, I go that way. Everyone goes that way, I go that way. Anyway, estate and trust attorneys are great sources because, as you can see here, mortality rates are not market driven. People aren't going to die based on what the condition is of the market. It could be good, bad, or indifferent. People are going to die, and properties are going to need to get sold. Again, it's a very undermarketed area, and with all the baby boomers from ages 1940, they're born in 49 through 64. No, I'm not a baby boomer, just in case you were wondering. I am Gen X, barely, but I am Gen X. It's a great area for an aging population and a great area to target. And the best sources for these listings are going to be your probate, estate, and trust attorneys. So good stuff there. This is the reason why I've gotten listings for agents in the past several months. It's because there's a tax gift that comes with dying. Okay, it sucks, but you get something called a step up basis. So let's take a look real quick. A tax tip here. I titled this slide "Tax Tips, Get More Listings, Gifts from the Crypt." So basically, what I wanted to show you, let me just bring out my handy highlighter here. Just don't need to read through all this jargon. It's IRS Code Section 1014. Basically, what it says is that it talks about basis of property acquired from a decedent. So, mom and dad buy a property, or back in the day, just say mom and dad died in the last year. And the property they paid was $100,000, but now it's worth over $1,000,000. Well, the decedents a lot of time, or the beneficiaries a lot of times, are afraid to sell the property, worried about getting hit with taxes. Because if they sell the property for $1,000,000, well, mom and dad only paid $100,000 for it. That means they're going to pay tax on $900,000, right? No. And the reason is here, if we look at this little part right here, just one little paragraph, the basis of property acquired from a decedent by inheritance, bequest, device, etc., that hasn't been sold, exchanged, or otherwise disposed of before the decedent's death is generally equal to its fair market value at the date of death, i.e. a stepped up basis, code section 1014A1. Now, what that means is that if, in our example, mom and dad only paid him $100,000 for that house, and daughter Sally inherits it after mom and dad pass away, Well, when Sally sells that house for $1 million, she has no taxable gain because the basis is the same as the fair market value. And that is a huge tax tip because Sally walks away with a property with no tax. In fact, she'll probably have a small loss due to the closing costs. There's more on this. By the way, this is available if you'd like to receive this PowerPoint presentation. I'm happy to send it out to you, or you can just download it from the YouTube site at Hillhurst Mortgage TV on YouTube. Basically, let's run through a quick example. George purchased a single-family residence on Cherry Tree Lane in 1968 for $100,000. George passed away in 2017. George's son Bill inherited the property upon George's death. At the time of George's death, the Cherry Tree Lane was worth $1.2 million. How much is the capital gain and capital gains tax attributable to the sale? Well, a lot of people think, it would be $1.1 million. The $1.2 million, notwithstanding closing costs, minus the $100,000 basis is $1.1 million. But if we take a look at the little example here, sales price, $1.2 million, okay? And let's blow out closing costs for a minute, but let's look down here at the basis. So that's what they paid, the $100,000. And let's just say George rented it for a while, took some depreciation of $50,000 on it. So the net basis is $50,000. Well, here's the kicker. If the property is worth $1.2 million, that basis of the property gets stepped up by $1.15 million. So when you plug it back in here in this calculation of the sale calculation, the basis is $1.2 million. Therefore, there's a small loss due to the closing costs. So basically, the beneficiaries walk away. Everybody wins. George, he's gone. He doesn't have to worry about it, but he doesn't pass on a big tax burden. He passes along the property, or the better yet, the cash from the sale of the property. The beneficiary wins. He walks away with all the cash in his pocket and maybe even a small loss to offset other income. And the agent wins. Everybody wins. But the problem is not too many people know about this code section. They think that you're stuck with it, and therefore the beneficiaries are stuck in a property they don't know what to deal with, or they really don't want. So, and I'm sure a lot of you would love to have a listing. So this is a great way to, when you talk to people that have passed away, this is a great way to get a listing. Be sure that they know this information. Of course, don't give tax advice because it's not legal unless you're licensed. You can refer them to us, or don't refer them, better yet, to their CPA or accountants or their attorney, and I'm sure they'll concur with everything that's on this presentation. Anyway, more about the relationship with these estate and trust. These guys are, they're a mixed bag. Some are good, some are easy. Kind of like realtors, some are easy, some are good, but for the most part, they're pretty good guys. They're very bright. The good part is they're all gold mines. They got great clients. They're smart guys. They get it. There's over 10,000 attorneys in downtown Los Angeles. They can refer their clients. They can refer other attorneys, both within and without their firm. They are potential clients themselves due to their high income. They tend to be arrogant, tend to be anti-advisor receptive. These guys know everything. I think they're kind of like guys in Montana or Idaho that are just born natural woodsmen. They're fantastic poker players because they're born in Montana. Well, these guys are just natural born real estate investors and negotiators just because they're attorneys. Totally incorrect, because most of them suck at it. That's why they need you guys. They have high student loan debt, and they tend to have low down payments. But they're good. They're really good, and I would highly recommend, over in Pasadena, there's a bunch of law firms. The Valley, Encino, parts of Woodland Hills, just a plethora of them in Century City and downtown LA. You got to get to know these guys. They can refer you a ton of business. They always want to meet great agents, and they need you just as much as you need them. I found this little YouTube thing, which I thought was kind of cute. It was a realtor interviewing.
Wow. Okay, so let me ask you this. The relationships that you do have with realtors, it's really just a relationship business, right? Just getting to know who these agents are, and you select who you would like to work with.
Correct. You're not going to have a lot of success if you're trying to work with an attorney and they don't even know your name. There's a process for this, and you at least need to be visible to the attorney, because we have so many realtors that would love to work with us. If you don't have a relationship with us, you're not going to have any success. So the key is not to blindly market the attorneys. It's to try to meet the attorneys, and not just attorneys like me. I mean, I might be better looking than most of the other attorneys, but there are.
All right, so you see there one recording on YouTube, and that's what you get. But like I say, I like attorneys. I prefer the more aggressive litigators because they're easier to kind of slam them when they're wrong, and they're nice guys at heart. But look, tons of people out there to meet with, connect with. Great referral sources. I'm sure it can lead to just tons of other things and other attorneys in their firms. They're great clients themselves. I know the Melvin and Myers office in downtown LA on 400 South Hope Street has got some crazy 300, 400, 500 attorneys in one firm. Insane. And that's it. Just a great place. You're looking where else to find attorneys. State Bar Association, State and Trust Division, Family Law Division. Martindale.com is where you can just put in criteria, local area, and they'll bring up a bunch of people. You could reach out to them with email marketing, cold calling, just have one of your assistant call and set up lunches. Tell them, hey, you want to meet some great attorneys, and your name came up in our database. Cal CPA is a California Society of Certified Public Accountants. They have an LA estate planning committee. I've been to those committee meetings in the past. They're unbelievably boring. I'd rather get bamboo shoots shoved under my toenails, but they're good to meet people, presentations, and they do have an estate and trust planning conference once a year. If you just go to this, take a look at this website, this site here. I mean, there's a ton of attorneys. They're the presenters. They're great people right there that you can target. So easy to find the target sources. A little hard to get used to these guys, but it's all good. Anyway, call me if you have any questions. You guys take care and be safe out there, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers, guys.